All right, hello everybody out there in YouTube land. Coming at you with a video. I've had a few requests over the years, and I figured I'd pull some of my watches out. I don't have that many. I've got 12 here, and I think I got a couple other in there. I don't keep pocket watches on, and this is a video on pocket watches, just my personal collection that I've got. I don't set up cameras and do the service of them and everything. And the only reason why is because I got a tripod and all, and I could do it. I'm just not going to do all that. I'll leave that up to the other guys that do that with the real nice camera systems on their workbenches to do that. I enjoy watching their videos. So, but I've had a lot of ask, hey, when you gonna show some of your watches or show some videos on working on watches and stuff? And these are just some of them that I've worked on in the past, and took apart, serviced, done any repairs that needed to be done, and every one of these watches here have all matching. They're everything matches, numbers, barrels, everything, And I've kept some of them for that reason. They have all had, matching. They're all matching numbers. No parts had been interchanged in them. And a lot of them were more. Let's cut that light out there. A lot of them were, a lot of times, broke mainsprings or broke ballast staff, and I had a ballast that I could replace with or whatever. But I will tell you this, all these keep good time. They all keep real good time still. I've carried every one of these watches, and I have no issues with none of them, and I just pulled them all out to do this video and wind them up, bring them out here and put them on my workbench. I have these usually hanging in my game room in a cabinet in there, and so they can be seen. And just for a few here, I even got, believe it or not, I got a Timex here, manual wind pocket watch, and it has a subscription on the back. It was to Jay and Janice, 8/15/82. I was like, wow, somebody had this, and I forget where I got this. It was probably in an auction or an estate or something. I probably picked this up at, and Timex is kind of like, they're funny to work on, and and how they go together and come apart, but it keeps good time. So I just kept it. I see no reason to toss it out, being it was a manual wind, and you don't see too many of the manual wind Timexes. I mean, there's some out there to be gotten on eBay. But then we go up here. We got an Elgin here, a nice Elgin. I believe this is a, let's see, size 16, I think it is. A real nice Elgin. I think this was a 17 jewel without taking, I ain't got the case loose on this. I opened up some of the cases so you can see. Keeps good time. I wound them all here just a few minutes ago and set them and everything. Keeps good time. I believe this is a 15 or a 17 jewel. I cannot remember. Hey, can't remember everything here. Here's Illinois. Here, and I had the back off of it. Let you see the back. Nice beautiful three-finger bridge. And let me see. Turn a little bit of light on. There we go. Yeah, it made a little bit of a difference. A nice, beautiful three-finger bridge. This is a 17 jewel. It was just, when I got this watch, if I remember correctly, you couldn't make out none of this on the back. None of the writing or anything. It was just covered. I mean, for what the case, considering the case has a little wear to it, a little rubbing. There's the inside of the case, if you want to see that. Let's see. Two plates of solid gold, blah, blah, blah. I forget. I can't hardly. I know I'm probably not holding the camera good enough where you can see this. I'm using my phone here. So please forgive me. Throughout the warranted for 25 years, yeah. And just a very beautiful movement. When I got it, the inside, it was just really, you would not believe how it looked. It's a nice, beautiful double sunk dial. You know, it does have a hairline crack or two in it, and a little chipping on the center main part of the dial. It's just, but it's still a beautiful watch. Beautiful watch. Then I've got this silver case that had a gold horse rider on the back. I didn't open the back to it. This, I'm pretty sure, I believe, was a 17 jewel, or was it a 19? It might be a 19 jewel in here. Lever set. I had a broke crystal. Let's see. There was something down inside the pallet fork, and it would not move. It was something down in this watch, and it was dirty. And of course, I took it apart and cleaned it. And as usual, if I have one, I put them in, and I usually do. I put a new mainspring in every watch I do. That's the life to a spring. I don't know how long a spring watch had been sitting without being changed. That's your life, and that's what keeps your accuracy good too. So when I change mainsprings regardless of most watches. I change all mainsprings in my pocket watches when I get them. I get something when I pick them up on eBay or an estate sale. I change every mainspring. There's no mainsprings. I mean, there's some I have let be, but a majority I change. Now let's see. We'll go to a couple of hunters here. This one here is a sterling silver case 18 Hunter Waltham. I'll close the front here. Let's open up the back. Bear with me. So you can see the back of the case too. It's silver fine silver. It's an Elgin case. Let's look at the movement. Oh, I got this one. This one was a Northern watch. You can hear it too. Just ticking away. Of course, you can hear a few of these. This watch here is a P.S. Bartlett. It was from up north. It was a family watch, and I kindly felt, I was like, well, I'm going to keep it too. Just had a stunning case. Now, I did not polish this case up really good. I just cleaned it. I did not polish it. Yes, could I? Yes, I could make this case really shine, but I like it to have some patina for what it is and leave that on there. Here's another one. Here's another perfect example of a nice pocket watch. Now, the lid don't flip. The spring on it does not flip as good. And this is called a Record pocket watch. Let's flip it over. Let's see here. I got the back. This was from Record Watch Company. Matching case with the movement. Adjusted to adjustments. And believe it or not, I have not even cleaned this, and then you can actually see and tell this watch. But you start winding, it starts ticking, and it keeps good time. Now, does it look god awful inside? No, but there is debris. It probably does need to be cleaned. This is the only watch in my collection that I have not cleaned. And English, let's see if we make this out. English make, guaranteed. 10 karat gold plated composition, 20 years, and wear 20 years. And this was just one of them that I did not clean, and I had, and seeing even these, the crystal had come out of this, and I think somebody, I don't know if that's the original one or somebody set that in there when I got that watch. And I got that watch probably about, I don't know, 6 years ago. So now here's another. Let's see, do I have case loose on this? No. Real nice Goldfield 18 Elgin. This is a 19 jewel. but it was not railroad grade. It is a, if I believe this is a lever set, or was it? Yes, this is a lever set. I cannot remember without pulling the crown. Here's a South Bend. I think this is a 15 jewel South Bend swing out case, size 16, single sunk dial. Good watch. All these watches, they all keep good time. Here's another South Bend Hunter's case here. Just beautiful, beautiful watch. I've actually, like I said, I sell on eBay. I get watches if they're not repairable. I list them as accurate as I can of what is going on with everything. If I miss something, God forbid, I don't believe in the, you hide. There's no reason to hide nothing here. And I sell watches sometimes. I got some on eBay right now, parts watches. I've got an actual watch on there for sale that it was a Swiss-made Grüngild. I didn't have anything to really, I didn't really have a care for it. I was going to take it apart, clean it and whatnot. I wound it. It started ticking right off, and I was like, I'm moving this on. I got it in an estate sale. I moved it on. Because I knew I probably didn't have a mainspring for it if I needed to change it or whatnot. So I just moved the watch on. But it's a real beautiful watch, and it's on eBay. And I sell mainsprings on eBay. That's where I started, and then I started just doing the watches on eBay. I do keep some I keep, some I sell. It just depends if I like it or not. But this is a beautiful South Bend. Let's open up the back here. And pocket watch. Just another beautiful example of craftsmanship back in the days. It's just getting harder. People are really destroying these watches, and I know a lot of them are doing it just to get the gold and stuff out of the case. To me personally, no. If that watch can come back to life, I'm gonna bring it back to life. Couple more here. Now these are Russian watches. They keep excellent time. I got these. I think I got like 3 of them one time with another. It was a lot from somebody. This one's a Russian, 2 Hunters. I got another one in there. It's not a Hunters. It's a single like this, but it's an older one. It's from I think the late 40s. And this in here, I'll show you what their movements look like, and they actually keep excellent time. I ain't seen a problem with them. You have this one's a 3602, and you have the 30. I think you have there's a 3501 or something. But anyway, there's another movement, the older ones, and then this one, they're 17 jewel, and believe it or not, they keep excellent time. They tick. You start whining, hell, you just pick it up, move it. They tick away. So, here, let me see if I can put the case back on here and let you see what the inside looks like on it. Let me get the right angle here for the case. It's got a spot on the case. I don't want to lose that. Let's see, where's it at? Well, there it is. Yeah, because they line up straight up and down, the way they design them and everything when you put them back together, snaps right together. I mean, just so good, and pops right open. There's what the inside looks like. Yeah, just nice, beautiful watches. I still think there is some older ones. The one I got in there is an older one. I forget. I think it's like predates 48 or 51. I think it was a 51 from what I could figure out on it. But yeah, this is just my little pocket watch collection. Really nice. I enjoy restoring these and bringing them back to life. For what I can do with them, and get them back to working order, bringing them back to life. You just, there's nothing more pleasurable than getting these watches working again. And this one here, I'm not going to really do much with the case or try to find, because it is an English watch. But it ticks. You start winding, it ticks right away. And, they're just so beautiful. They're just pieces of art work. This one here is actually a Hunter's. He cannot find the cover. Now, there's a little story behind this. This is my uncle's watch. He gave this watch to me. And it does have a beautiful movement. Do I have it open? I don't have it open. And he brought it to me. He said, Tim, I bought that watch, wore it a couple of years, and it's been sitting in the jewelry box. I wound it too tight one day, I think, and it wouldn't run. I put it in the jewelry box. It had been sitting there for over 50 years, he said. Brought it to me, and he did. It had sprung it out of the main barrel. It lost connection in the main spring barrel. I replaced the spring in it. I did have a nice spring to put back in it. I put a spring in it. It was a Swiss spring, same measurements of this one. Put it in it, cleaned it, put it back together, and I wished I'd had the cover off this. I wanted you to see the movement. It's beautiful. And in this watch, it was funny. I wound this watch here a couple of weeks ago, set the time on it and wound it. It run for over 30 hours. And it winds so smoothly. And so he said if he finds that lid, I can fix that. I can repair that and put that lid back on. So I'm hoping he does. And I'm actually going to keep this one. But I'll probably list a few of these. I'll list some of these. I need to move some on because I'll start keeping more. And I don't want to just keep collecting them. I don't do that. And I like to move them on to somebody that wants to enjoy one. I'll list this. I'm thinking about listing that Three Finger Bridge, Illinois, and all these watches have been serviced, fully serviced, new mainsprings. Other than the Russian watches here, I did not put any mainsprings in them. They were actually fine. They wasn't cooled, and I thought they were just in excellent shape, so I put them back in after a good cleaning. But I'll be listing some of these, and I have a few more I'll be fixing and looking at, and I'll be putting them back up on eBay. So if anybody is interested in any, you can look me up on eBay by my name. My name is Tim Skidmore, same as on my YouTube. It's under my name, Tim Skidmore. I don't have no funky call thing signed to look at, find something to look at. And, I do a lot of videos on just, odds and ends stuff. But I've had a lot about my watches because locally here, a lot of people know me that I work on watches and wrist watches and pocket watches. And so I just wanted to throw this video up, let you see what little bit I've got in my collection. Like I said, I've got a couple more in there. I've got a Hamilton in there. I've got I got a Howard size 12 in there, which I'm not going to come off that one. That was probably one of the first I got when I got into this 15 years ago. And once I started learning servicing a year after that. And then next thing I know, I'm just tearing these down because I'm a guy that's known to fix anything. And if it ain't right, I'll let you know. If there's something, whether it's working and there's something still not right with it, I will let you know when I put them up on eBay. If I just can't find parts for it or whatever. So 9 times out of 10, I put one up there like this, and I say it's running, keeping good time, cleaned. It's what it is. So just to let you know, and here's what I've got, just my little bit of my collection, and just wanted to show them. I've had too many people ask me over the few years, so there it is. Finally. But there you go, and thanks for looking.